know you would believe that isn't who you are. There's more to who you are. So when it's late, you're wide awake, too much to take. Don't shift and forget that in the pain you can be brave, hear me say. I see you dressed in white, every wrong made right. I see a rose in bloom at the sight of you. Irreplaceable, unmistakable, incomparable, darling, it's beautiful. I see it all in you. No matter what you've heard, this is what you're worth. More than all the money or the diamonds and pearls. Oh, this is who you are. Yeah, this is who you are. So when it's late, you're wide awake, too much to take. Don't shift and forget that in the pain you can be brave, hear me say. I see you dressed in white, every wrong made right. I see a rose in bloom at the sight of you. Irreplaceable, unmistakable, incomparable, darling, it's beautiful. I see it all in you. Sisters, we can start again. Give honor to the end, love. We can start again. Brothers, we can start again. Give honor to the end, yeah. We can start again. I see you dressed in white, every wrong made right. I see a rose in bloom at the sight of you. Irreplaceable, unmistakable, incomparable, darling, it's beautiful. I see it all in you. All the girls in the bathroom talking, who they gonna take to the Sadie Hawkins? My ears are burning, but I kept on walking, smile on my face and an air guitar rocking. The Sadie Hawkins dance in my khaki pants, there's nothing better. Oh, oh, oh. Girls ask the guys, it's always a surprise. There's nothing better, baby, too, like my sweater. Sitting in the back of my next class napping, got up, gave a speech, then bowed to the clapping, told a funny joke, got the whole class laughing. Think I got a tan from the light which I was basking. The Sadie Hawkins dance in my khaki pants, there's nothing better. Oh, oh, oh. Girls ask the guys, it's always a surprise. There's nothing better, baby, too, like my sweater. can change and it starts with me. One head high, throw your light in the sky. We're gonna keep it shining forever. Oh, it's brightest when we're shining together. This little light up, I'm gonna let it. And in the darkest, I'll be the brightest. No covering up, no shutting it down, no blowing it out. I'm gonna let it shine around. I'm gonna let it. This little light up, I'm gonna let it. And in the darkest, I'll be the brightest. No covering up, no shutting it down, no blowing it out. I'm gonna let it shine around. I'm gonna let it shine.
Awesome. Good job. You guys can have a seat. Welcome to Gravity.
Welcome to
Hey,
Gravity.
oh, you got to come over here.
Over
Yeah,
here.
we got to kind of be up here so
In the
the
shot.
wonderful YouTube people can see us. Hey, if you're watching online, we want to welcome you as well. Everybody say
Hello.
hi, people.
Hi, people online.
Awesome. All right. Hey, I want to introduce this person to you. If you don't know, this is the wonderful, the epic Lindsay Dean.
Hi, guys.
Yes.
Thank
Lindsay
you.
is
Thank you.
on our student leadership team, and she helps kind of do some MC and announcements and things like that from week to week. And we haven't had her up here yet, but we now do this year. So thanks for being up here tonight
My pleasure.
and hanging out with us. Lindsay,
I do work at Chick-fil-A.
she
I
does.
love it.
She works at Chick-fil-A. You can get. What's your favorite thing to eat at Chick-fil-A? Even though you work there, like sometimes it's like.
I am passionate about the nuggets. I used to be a sandwich girl, but lately I've been loving the nuggets.
Is it the breaded nuggets or the grilled nuggets?
Usually the breaded, but if I'm feeling healthy, I'll get the grilled. They're both really good.
Yeah, they're both really good. That's awesome. Thanks for sharing about your life with us at Chick-fil-A. Can you think of anything super weird that's happened to Chick-fil-A?
There's so many stories. Okay.
I'm totally putting her on the spot. So.
There was this, okay, I'll tell this story. There's this lady, and she came through the drive-thru. She'd clearly never been there before. And she asked for her options for her sides. And so I listed all the sides. She had tons of options, like basically limitless. And she tells me she wants a parfait with her sandwich on at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So she gets her parfait. And she tells me she wants chocolate on it. So we give her the chocolate. And she comes back around again, probably 15 minutes later, and she tells me that she does not want berries or any fruit on her parfait with chocolate. And so I'm like that's what a parfait is. You get yogurt and fruit, right? I'm pretty I didn't need to specify that there's fruit on that parfait, so she's very disappointed about that. And we got her the right parfait, but yeah, that's probably one of the weirdest stories I've had. There's so many more.
Yeah, that's like ordering chicken McNuggets, hold
With
the
no
McNugget.
chicken, yeah.
It's like why would you do that?
Yeah.
It's kind of weird. Anyway, I've got some chicken McNuggets waiting for me in the back. That's why
With
that
no
came to my
nugget?
mind. Yeah, sorry, it's not Chick-fil-A. Can we still be friends?
Yeah.
Ah, sweet. Okay, good. All right.
People
Well,
order McNuggets. They want McNuggets.
yeah,
They don't want Chick-fil-A. They want McNuggets.
McNuggets.
That's actually happened.
it's true. Yeah. Do you ever order the wrong thing in the wrong restaurant? Like go through Burger King and order McNuggets?
I can't say I've ever
Or
done
go
that.
through McDonald's and order a Whopper? It's kind of funny to see. They're like, we don't have that here. It's kind of funny. Yeah. All right, so next time you go through the drive-thru and Lindsay's working, order McNuggets and see what she says. Fair enough?
Yeah.
All right. Hey, you guys are going to start a new segment tonight called Salina Celebrities. And about once a month or so, we're going to have someone really, really special from Salina who is of some relative amount of fame. Maybe more, maybe less. Okay? But tonight, Melissa is going to introduce our first guest to us. Let's give it up for Pastor Doug McHenry!
Yay!
Woo!
All right, so we are starting, like Jim said, a Salina celebrity. Once a month, we are going to bring different people up here on stage. So we thought, why not start with the man, Doug McHenry. Welcome, Doug, to Gravity.
Thank you, Melissa. I'm not sure I'm a celebrity, but I'm glad to be here.
Good. I'm glad. So there's people in here watching as well as at home. So wave to everybody. Hello. Okay. Are you ready? Are you ready for these questions? I've prepped.
Sure. I'm a little nervous about what you're going to ask me, Melissa. So go ahead. Remember,
right.
remember, I'm your boss. I'm your boss. So,
Oh, boy.
okay. All right,
Okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
First is, this is kind of a personal question. We're going
Okay.
to start off real personal.
Okay. All right.
What color is your toothbrush?
My toothbrush
Your toothbrush. Mm-hmm.
is blue. Is blue.
Oh, good.
It's blue.
Do you and Nancy like color coordinate?
No,
She
I
the
just
pink one?
whatever they give me at the dentist, but it's blue.
Oh,
It's
I mean,
blue.
okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
It's blue.
Okay. Next, what is one of the things that you would put on your bucket list?
On my bucket list, well, that's a really good question. I'd like to beat all 7 continents.
Oh, how many are you at right now?
I have 2 left:
Okay, that's pretty good.
Antarctica and Australia.
Oh,
So
nice. I love it.
they might be hard to get.
That's true.
yeah.
Australia, maybe not so much.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay, we'll get missionaries down there. Who do you admire the most?
The most.
Other than
well, of course,
myself.
of course, it'd be my wife.
Oh, okay. I mean,
Yeah,
that's true.
yeah, no.
Second
Yes, it would be
best?
my wife.
Second?
Um,
Second, please. Me.
my dad and mom, and
Way
I'm a
down.
KU fan, so Danny Manning.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
What number might I be on that admiring list?
What number are you?
Mm-hmm. Am I right?
You're in my top 50.
That's good. I'm going to take that as a win, everyone. That's a win. Okay. Next, what is your favorite summer activity?
Backpacking and hiking.
Okay, that's
I like
a
to
good one.
backpack and hike in the mountains.
Where do you like to go to backpack and hike?
Colorado.
Me too. Me
Yep.
too.
Okay.
Next, let's see. Are you a morning person or a night person? Toughie, huh?
Yeah, I used to be a night person. As I've gotten older, I'm more of a morning person because of responsibilities.
I
So,
see. What time do you wake up in the morning, Doug?
Usually between 5:45 and 6:15. So it's not super early.
Oh, okay, that's not bad.
So I usually go exercise.
I thought
or
you were like a
something.
4 a.m.
no,
type of
no.
person.
Usually 5:45.
Okay, that's good. That's not bad. Do you drink coffee?
Not very often.
Interesting. Okay. Let's see. What is the strangest thing you've ever eaten?
Strangest thing I've ever eaten?
Yep. Frog.
Well, yeah, I've had frog legs, mountain oysters, octopus. I've had octopus.
Gross. Disgusting.
Yeah, alligator once.
Yuck.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Never
yeah.
going to lunch with you ever.
Okay.
What is one of your weird quirks? Do you have a weird quirk? This should be a Nancy question, I feel.
Yes,
but-
or read. Yeah, weird quirks.
or read.
I walk around the house and turn off the lights a lot because people just leave lights on.
My dad did the same
They just
thing.
leave them on. I'm like,
he threatened that I would have to pay
nobody's
the
in the
electric
room.
bill once.
Nobody's in the room, so I turn them off. Yeah.
Have you threatened your kids to pay the electric bill?
No, I haven't done that.
Okay.
But I do turn off the lights sometimes.
Well, that's good. I'm glad. What is your favorite joke? I feel like this is a good one for you because you tell jokes on Sunday.
Favorite joke?
Mm-hmm. Or a pun, since you like puns. Or do you have one on the spot on the top of your head?
Oh boy, off the top of my head, math pun.
Great.
If you're cold, go stand in the corner. It's always 90 degrees there.
Good.
Oh, okay, all right.
That was so good.
Sorry.
Let's see. Next is, what is the first thing you do when you get up in the morning? You turned your mic off. Rookie mistake. Oh, just kidding. Do you need my microphone? It's red. Here, you can have my mic.
First thing in the morning, I get up, get a drink of water, stretch, and usually go for a run or a walk with the dog. Yeah.
All right, and what time are we at? Last question? I think last question. What brought you to be in ministry? I was going to say youth ministry, but you were in youth ministry at one point. Did you guys all know that? He used to be a youth pastor? Mm-hmm. So what brought you to ministry, youth ministry, and then pastor?
it was kind of a steady, kind of slow process, not some huge lightning bolt, but I was involved in college with something called like Young Life. I helped out with that with a local church with some guys from my fraternity. I was involved in some camp as a counselor. And then after college, I spent 2 years traveling around the U.S. and Canada. I was part of a band. I was a singer in a band. I did that for 2 years. And I became a youth pastor. So that was part of just kind of people speaking into my life, experiencing ministry, and kind of this nagging feeling that this was something I was supposed to do.
Okay, that was very good. So, I think we are on to worship. Pastor Doug, thank you for joining us for Salina's Celebrity. Everyone give him a round of applause. He's here every Sunday morning, so come to church. You can hear more puns from the pulpit and laugh and clap and make him feel better.
We will get started in worship. My wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. I won't fear. I won't fear what tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are the peace in my troubled sea. You are my light, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness. I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. Far before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Far before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Far before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Far before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. My lighthouse, in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, All right. So I'm going to take this time to do an invitation to all of you. If you have any interest in music or technology, we've got spots open in the Gravity Band as well as in the tech booth. So if you know somebody that's musical or techie and they're not doing anything, just take this time to look at them right now and point at them and go, you, do it, and then say nothing else. But in the meantime, we got one more song for you. Salvation sounds a new beginning. As distant hearts begin believing, redemption's bid is unrelenting. Your love goes on. Your love goes on. You carry us when the world gives way. You cover us with your endless grace. Your love is relentless. Your love is relentless. Your love is relentless. Your love is relentless. The time is up for chasing shadows. You gave the world a light to follow, a hope that shines beyond tomorrow. Your love goes on. Your love goes on. You carry us when the world gives way. You cover us with your endless grace. Your love is relentless. Your love is relentless. Your love is relentless. Your love is relentless. Tearing through the veil of darkness, breaking every chain, you set us free. Fighting for the furthest heart, you gave your life for all to see. Tearing through the veil of darkness, breaking every chain, you set us free. Fighting for the furthest heart, you gave your life. Your love is relentless. 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 Amen. At this time, you may be seated.
Oh man, that's a hard question. I think if you've been rock climbing so long, that's like somebody asking you to lose your identity.
You couldn't get me to stop climbing. The thing that kept pulling me back in every single time was just the freedom of it all. I have found the climbing community to be the most inviting and vibrant people.
It's just like such a big part of my life. Like, to stop, that's like redoing everything. I'd probably become like a completely different person.
My life without climbing would be pretty depressing. I say that honestly too, but I know that climbing's gonna be something solid in my life that's always gonna be there when I need it.
考えられないというか考えたこともない対してこうちょっと引っ込み思案になる部分はあるけども本当にやめようと思う瞬間一瞬たりともない僕にとってクライミングっていうのはそういうものです。
I can't imagine. I don't want to even imagine. Without climbing? What is life without climbing?
Well, we are so glad that you guys are all here for week 2. So last week, we started our new series called Survival. We wanted to equip you guys with things to survive the school year. And tonight, we are going to be talking about our second topic, which is community, and why we think that this is something we really need to grasp in order to survive.
Yeah, so you guys should have gotten a piece of paper on the back of your chair. However, some of you guys might have pens. If you don't have a pen and you would like a pen, raise your hand, and then one of the leaders or student leaders can go grab one for you. But we wanted you guys to be able to have something to write down because we think these are important, and so we want to make sure that we equip you guys to have these things to take home with you as well. So we'll have these available every single week for you guys to fill in. So the video, there was a few statements that each person said that I think, I don't know, for some reason like really stuck out to me. One, they said, without climbing, I would be a completely different person. It's always been a part of me. Somebody else said, I can't even imagine. I don't want to imagine what life is like without climbing.
They also mentioned it's like someone asking you to lose your identity. This community has been the most important and vibrant group of people, and climbing is a big part of my life. Without it, I would be a completely different person.
So as I was kind of listening, I'm a huge outdoorsy person, and I love watching films like this and documentaries and stuff.
I had no idea.
I know, it's shocking. But as Ben told me about this video, and so I was watching it the other night, and those kind of sayings really stuck out to me because it kind of relates to how we see our life as followers of Jesus Christ. So with those quotes and just the passion that you see behind each of those people and how they feel about climbing, I kind of asked myself, does that same passion and desire that they have for climbing, is that the same passion and desire that I have for Jesus Christ? Because a lot of them said, I can't even imagine life without climbing. I don't even want to imagine. Like, I can't. It is so much a part of who I am. And so is that how we are, to where we say, I cannot live with, I don't even want to imagine life without God. He is so much a part of me that I can't. And so tonight we're going to be talking about, like Veronica said, we're going to be talking about community. We're going to be talking about your team. And so you'll be able to kind of see some pictures of our team throughout the night. But I want to ask you guys a question, and you don't have to answer me, but in your heads, who have you surrounded yourself with? It can be here, it can be at school, at work, at home, whatever it is. Who have you surrounded yourself with? And what group of people do you live life with? What are those people that you live life with on a daily basis? And the next question I want to ask is, are those people that you are living life with and surrounding yourself with, are they driving you towards God, or are they driving you further away from God? And so life is hard, right? We all know life is hard. And like rock climbing is very difficult. How many of you guys, raise of hands, have been rock climbing before?
A tip, use your legs. Don't use your arms. Well,
Yeah,
use your arms.
Yeah, it's
use
real
your
hard.
legs.
I was going to bring my rope. I forgot.
Oh,
Darn it. So Ben and I have been rock climbing like at a Y, like with the, or like, at camp and things like that. But then we've also actually like legit been like rock climbing. And it is really, really hard. One, I'm afraid of heights, so that totally terrifies me. But it's really hard, and there's so much that goes into rock climbing. I watched this video, and I was like, man, they make it look so easy. Like, I can go out and rock climb Indian rock. You know what I mean? That's real hard to do. But when you climb, there's a goal that you have in mind, right? Does anybody know what that goal might be? Make it to the top, right? That is where you're hoping to go, right? You don't really want to fall. And so I feel like your goal, do you guys recognize that guy? What? Drew, nice job. So the goal is to make it to the top. You guys as students, I feel like your goal in school is to what? Graduate, right? You want to graduate with a degree and then go to college, all those fun things. So you want to graduate high school, or maybe your goal right now is to just make it through this week because
COVID.
We both have had crazy weeks as well. So we totally get you on that, but we're not in school, so we don't really get you. But I mean, we've been there-ish. But so our goal, though, as believers of Jesus Christ, our goal as believers of Jesus Christ and as followers of Him is to live a life that draws other people to Jesus. Hopefully, our goal is to live a life that other people see us and they say, I want what you have. Like, how are you so joyful? How do you live this life, even in the midst of complete chaos in the world? How do you have this peace and this joy in the midst of it? And that's how, at least for me, like the goal of being a follower of Christ, like I want my life so that others can see Christ through me. But in order to reach our goal, especially that goal of to have this purpose and to have others see Christ through us, we have to have people in place in our lives to keep us on that right track of our goal.
Yeah, so I don't know if you guys know this about me, but one of my passions was working on a challenge course. I loved it. If you've been in DTO, I've probably put you through crazy amounts of different activities.
I know.
Yeah, whatever.
So crazy.
Just to kind of get you to think about just life in general. But when you do rock climbing, there are different positions that we would try and give you at our course because, like we said, it's not just a solo mission, but we wanted it to be a team aspect. So we had different positions in place. the belayer. So when Drew was climbing up this really, really tall mountain in Kansas,
It was really tall. It was
Yeah.
really tall.
he couldn't even put his feet on the ground.
It's true. That's true.
But Drew was connected to a belayer. So I was belaying Drew. So if Drew was to come off that really tall cliff, I was going to be able to catch him, and he wasn't going to fall to the ground. So think about this for a second. Who is that person in your life that if you were climbing and you were heading towards this goal, who is that person that you know is going to consistently be there to catch you? Who's that person? You probably have somebody in mind. I have somebody in mind.
Me too.
It's not Melissa.
It's not Veronica. So there.
But no, that's somebody important. You have to have that person in your life. You don't want to go through this climb or this mission or goal without having somebody you know who's going to catch you, because life's kind of crazy, especially now. When we also, on this challenge course that I worked on, we would also have somebody who was a rope tender. Basically, their job was to make sure that the rope didn't touch the ground. They wanted to keep it clean, because if you get your rope dirty, it can wear the rope out really fast.
It's a crazy process, actually.
So who's that person in your life that you know is never going to let you get so dirty?
Like filthy with the world and
Yeah.
all the...
And they are going to
crap.
continuously make sure that you are ready to go, that you are on set, on track for God. Who's that person? Do you have somebody in mind?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so important. It's so important to have those people.
You wouldn't think having somebody who would just pick up the rope would be
Seriously.
important, but I'm telling you, that's an important job. If I'm asking you these questions and you don't have somebody in mind, I want you to remember that for when we do discussion groups later. Because these are spots that we think need to be a part of your survival kit that you should be filling. The last person that we would have on our group, well, not the last person, but another person would be that anchor. So for Drew, because Drew's taller than I am, if Drew was to come off a cliff and I wasn't ready, then I would go shooting up in the air because Drew is a lot taller than me.
Which would not be fun. I would try and catch you.
Yep.
I'd like hold your feet.
So if you were to just, you're on this path that you are on, you're set on this goal, and for whatever reason you get sidetracked so completely without anybody, without you even realizing, who's that person that's going to ground you? Bring you back from whatever you came from.
Yeah, like who's that person in your life that you know that they're going to be like honest with you, and it might hurt because nobody wants to be told you're being stupid. But sometimes we need to hear that from people that love us in a very nice, loving way. Okay, let's make this real, be loving. But yeah, you have to have that person that's going to kind of be like, hey, what are you doing? What is it? You know, like I have that person in my life, and I'm that person in my best friend's life, and we've done that for each other of like, what are you thinking right now? You know, out of love and trying to help each other get back on that track.
Yeah.
So it's very important.
Yeah, accountability partners are so important when our walk with faith and our walk in just life in general. And what connects all these people is this rope. You are connected to each of these team members through a rope. And when we're talking about community, we want Gravity to be a part of that rope for you guys. We want this place to be a safe place for you to come and to vent. We know that you guys are struggling with stuff right now. We get it. And we want you guys to come here and lay it out. We want to hear it. You might think you're driving us nuts. You're not. We want to hear what you guys are going through. We want to hear school is the worst or school's doing really great right now. This is a place for that. And we want that rope to bring all the way through Gravity so that each of us can be that community for one another.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the rope kind of connects the climber to the belayer to the rope tender. I didn't do what she did. She's cooler than me. And then is the anchor?
Anchor. Yep.
Okay. So the rope connects you. And so that's what, again, like she said, that's what we want for Gravity. We have like our Sunday mornings, we have our Wednesdays, we have our life group, and things like that. So that way, and we know that you guys are busy and can't do all, but hopefully with some of those things, you can connect with each other and with leaders and with adults in your life that can have that impact and maybe be that anchor for you as well. And so, because here's the thing, we find this important because God designed us to live in community. Whether you're an introvert, anybody introverts? Raise your hand if you're an introvert.
I'm an ambivert. Is that what it is?
I don't even know.
The in-between? I think that's what it is.
Did you just make that up?
No.
She just made it up.
No, I'm
All
pretty sure.
right.
Is that what it is? Chloe's got me. Thank you.
Extroverts, where are you at? Woo! Okay, a few. That's
Carson,
fine.
I feel like you're an extrovert.
Yes. But whether you are an introvert or an extrovert, God designed us to live in community. We were not designed to live life alone by ourselves. We were designed, in quarantine. That's why quarantine, well, at least for me, has been awful. I can't survive in quarantine. I go crazy. My husband's like, get out of the house. You know what I mean? I'm like, what, pacing? It's fine. But we're designed to live in community, which is why community, especially within the church, is so important. It is so important. The definition of community is a feeling of fellowship with others as a result of sharing common attitudes, interests, and goals. And so I feel like in this goal of getting to the top of climbing, we all have this goal, right? Hopefully, in this room, we all want to lead others to Christ. We want to see our friends come to Christ. We ourselves want to live a life that is glorifying and honoring to God, and we want to be there for each other. So our goal is to do that. And so we are then a community. We have this passion, we have this desire, and these goals. I want to read to you Hebrews 10:24 through
25.
Whoa, 25. My mic did something weird. That's fine. Or it's just me. It says, let us think. I'm going to read it different. It's kind of the same version, but it's, anyways. Hebrews 10:24 through 25 says, let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works. Let us not neglect our meeting together as some people do, but encourage one another, especially now that the day of his return is drawing near. Guys, community is so important. Community is so important. Okay, I know there's a lot of talking going on. There's a lot of movements. I'm just going to ask, shh, because we can hear you up here, and that means all of your peers can hear you out there, okay? So community is so, so important. And here's the thing, Satan hates when we get together. He hates when we get together in worship. He hates when we fellowship. He hates when we talk about God. He hates when we are encouraged, when we are uplifted, when we come to Gravity or Life Group, or when we talk to each other or whatever. Satan hates that. And what he loves is he loves it when we don't make community, when we don't make church a priority in our lives, because other things then get in the way. And he's able to kind of weasel his way in, which then makes it super easy for the world's views and what the world says to come into our hearts and into our minds. So it goes into also guarding our hearts as well, but being a part of this community. And so that's why sometimes it's like some of us, or maybe some of your friends and leaders, were like, hey, where are you at? Like, why have you been coming to Gravity, or where have you been at? Like, it's not like we're mad at you by any means, but we miss you, and we also value that it's so important to have community.
Yeah.
And so a question for you to think about is, again, who have you chosen to be a part of your team? Who is your belayer that, as you climb, is going to help you towards your goal? Who are you surrounding yourself with? In the video, there was a shot to where the climber's up, and there are like 10 people on the ground around them ready and cheering them on. It is so important. And are those people that you are around, are they helping you reach that bigger goal? Are they drawing you closer to God, or are they drawing you away from God? Because if they're drawing you away from God, then maybe it's time to find another team. Because it's so important to have that team and that community that is going to help you reach that goal.
And I think it's important to also realize, yes, your team is supposed to encourage you, but you are also a valuable member of that team to be a light to your friends, to be that person that pushes them towards Jesus. They want to push you towards Jesus as well. And it's just a give and take thing. It's not just them giving to you, but you are also giving back to them as your team. You want to be investing in them. And we saw this in the Bible. Jesus recruited a team. He recruited a team of disciples, and they ate together and prayed together, and Jesus showed them his Father. He pointed them to him. And just like when you guys go to your schools, the world is going to tell you so many different things. It's going to want you to do a lot of different things. But you are called to stand out. You're called to be a part of a team that points to a bigger goal. Not to be of this world, but to point somewhere higher and to look different. And that's such an incredible opportunity to be a part of, that you get to be a key part of this grand goal. Jesus anchored himself to God. And we need to have those one-on-one times with God as well. And make sure that that is part of what our community is grounded on, our foundation. And so that we can continue to have God's peace and strength as we go on our own climb.
Yeah, which is why prayer last week was so important. Because prayer, again, like Veronica says, what grounds us to God. And we have that connection and that relationship with him. And then it's others. As you know, God says the greatest command is love God. And then the second is to love others. And so prayer and community are kind of in that area of loving God, having that relationship with him, and then loving others and having that team around you that's going to come alongside of you and encourage you. So we're going to pray, and then we are going to head into worship. Dear Heavenly Father God, I thank you so much for this time together. God, I thank you for the team that we have. I thank you for the community here. God, that I pray that you will continue to strengthen us, that you will continue to just have us share and be vulnerable with each other. God, may we be a community to where others see this close relationship that we have with one another, and they say, I want to be a part of this. What is it that they have? God, may we show the world who you are by how we live our lives. May we show our group of friends who we are by how we live our lives. God, may we have that anchor in you as well as with our team. God, thank you so much for your love, your forgiveness, and your grace. In Jesus' name, amen.
Now would you stand and let's continue in worship. Like a hurricane, I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, and I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. And oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so. Like a hurricane, I am a tree bending beneath the weight of his wind and mercy. When all of a sudden I am unaware of these afflictions eclipsed by glory, and and I realize just how beautiful you are and how great your affections are for me. Oh, how he loves us so. Oh, how he loves us. How he loves us so. Yes, he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. And we are his portion, and he is our prize, drawn to redemption by the grace in his eyes. If his grace is an ocean, we're all sinking. And heaven meets earth like an unforeseen kiss, and my heart turns violently inside of my chest. I don't have time to maintain these regrets when I think about the way that he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. Yes, he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. Yes, he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves us. Oh, how he loves. You may be seated.
Awesome. Thanks, Dom. That was phenomenal. You guys, hope that was a pretty cool message. Just a good reminder about community, yeah, and the need to connect. What was your favorite part of the chain that they talked about? Was it the anchor or the rope tender or the belayer?
I think the rope tender was my favorite part.
Somebody that keeps you out of the dirt.
Yeah,
That's
that was
pretty
really
good. That's
That
good.
was good.
Yeah, I like that. All right, well, we have a few things that we just want to let you know about before we go to our discussion groups. And so first, if you are watching online, we have an eager discussion group available for you, an online group. If you text that number that's on the screen, then we will send you the Zoom link information in just a couple minutes, okay? Once we get a few texts in, we'll send those out. So don't get too anxious and ditch us. We'll get that to you shortly. So send us your text at that number. Next is Gravity and Worship Band auditions, which actually happened last week, but we still have openings.
Yeah, there's still openings, so you can still audition.
Yeah.
It's a really great opportunity. We love our band.
We
so,
do love our band.
Yeah, fun
They are
spots
awesome.
open, so you should definitely audition for that.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yep, and the tech team as well. We've got people you see working some cameras and stuff for those that are online. So if you want to help with that or run slides, things like that, we have a spot for you. It's not hard. You don't need a bunch of knowledge. We can train you. So that'll be those things will be starting September 13th. So both the Gravity Band and the tech team. So let us know, and we can get you in on that. Next is, I think, our food bank donations.
Yes.
And we have a spot for food out in the foyer. So have you ever been to the food bank?
I have been to the food
Have you?
bank. Yes, I have. It's really cold in there in the winter.
It's really cold in the winter. Nice.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. But it serves a ton of people.
Yes, it does.
And
There's lots of mac and cheese.
lots of mac and cheese.
Yeah, bring some food.
Yes.
And then we'll take it there.
We
so
will.
You don't have to be there in the cold.
Exactly.
But it's not cold right now.
So next week, bring food with you. Bring a can or a box or something non-perishable that we can donate to the food bank, because lots of people need help right now, and we have an opportunity to serve them. So we're trying to see how much food we can collect to serve the food bank. So lastly, I think is there one more, or is that it? Jerry Ivy. This Sunday, we are going to meet at Jerry Ivy Park. This will be our last official Sunday at 6 o'clock, but we're going to keep it going in the afternoons after this Sunday. But I know it's Labor Day weekend. You might have plans, but if you don't, join us Sunday night at 6 o'clock. And
There's Gatorade.
Gatorade.
And if you don't want to play a sport, then you can sit at the picnic table and talk with Veronica and Hadley and I.
Yeah.
And the other, and Abby.
And
so
just hang out.
Lots of fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. We play volleyball, we play some ultimate frisbee, drink Gatorade, talk,
Yeah, it's a good time.
throw slushies at each other. That hasn't happened yet.
That hasn't
Maybe it
happened
can happen
yet.
this Sunday. Slushy fight! Just
that
kidding.
would be very sticky.
That would be very sticky. All right, that is it. So, if you are watching on YouTube, please text this number, and we will get a Zoom link to you shortly. And everybody, let's say bye to everybody watching on YouTube. All right, and so we'll see you guys later. Have a great night. All right, those of you that are still here, if you are in junior high, middle school, you are going up to the loft. If you are